At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Welcome in to Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM, channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, live from Chicago, hanging out with you until 3 Eastern. If you want to join the show today, the call or text line is at 310-840-4910. Tonight, Abdalla, Game 3 of the NBA Finals, 8:30 Eastern. The New York Knicks are up 2-0 in this series. Shocking result on Friday night as the Knicks take both games on the road, and it sets up tonight's matchup at Madison Square Garden, where the New York Knicks now have full control of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that this is the result that we're going into based on the way the Knicks came out and played on Friday night. They came out aggressive. They came out the same way that they did in Game 1, and Jalen Brunson looked the same way he did. Karl Anthony Towns, more importantly, looked the same way that he did. He was not going to shy away from any physical play. He was not going to shy away from any contact. And look, the Spurs look, once again, lost out there. Victor Wembanyama, late in games, looks lost out there. It just looks like the moment is a little bit too big for this team right now. And It seems like the Knicks are prepared for this. Maybe it's the experience, like we've talked about before, of going through the playoffs before, going deep into the playoffs before, and this is new for the Spurs. Or maybe this is just a team like we've talked about, an all-time team going for their 14th win in a row. This is the third team to win their first 2 NBA Finals games on the road. The other two, the 93 Bulls, the 95 Rockets, won the championship.
Yep.
So they have a chance to do that, to repeat history. And look, Madison Square Garden tonight is going to be a zoo.
Well, if you can get in.
If you can get in.
I mean, the ticket prices are insane. On top of it, the security measures that are being taken for tonight's contest, not just because of the basketball. The president of the United States is going to be in the house. So TSA pre-check is what you need to get into the Garden tonight.
Clear.
I mean, they are telling people if you're going to the game that you need to arrive 2 hours early before your flight. I mean, before the game.
For your flight.
But I mean, that's what they're telling people. No bags allowed into the Garden tonight.
Yeah.
And it is going to be like airport security getting in there. I'm guessing outside the arena, it's going to be a scene.
They canceled all the watch parties and everything.
That sucks.
It does.
The thing that's awesome about the NBA playoffs and the NBA Finals is they take place in cities where the weather is warm at this time of year, and the watch parties are a lot of fun. And so, I mean, I think New Yorkers are still going to gather.
Yeah, New Yorker, come on.
I think they're still going to gather, and it should be quite the scene. And you're right, going back to the game on Friday night, I was just surprised at the poise of the New York Knicks in the fourth quarter. Now, obviously, we can go back to the Spurs had a chance. They had the ball. They forced a bad shot, and the rebound was collected by Wembanyama with 12 seconds left on the clock. And Wemby threw a pass off the back of Stephon Castle. And wherever that broke down, whether it was Stephon Castle making eye contact with Wemby and then turning his back completely instead of keeping his eyes on where the ball was, to Wemby taking an additional step and then throwing the basketball, which clearly Castle had already turned his back. It was just an egregious turnover from an absolute superstar in the NBA when essentially it was all set for him. 12 seconds, you force a bad shot, you collect the rebound, ball in your hands, you have the game right there. All you have to do, get into the front court and take a shot, and you have a chance. You threw it away. And that goes right back to Victor Wembanyama. It was his fault. They lost again. He had a great game. He played really well in game 2. But it was his fault that they lost. And obviously, we've seen the way that he's played here in the playoffs. Must-see TV. Everyone is obsessed with trying to figure out whether or not he can be the next star of the league. And Jalen Brunson has been so good to this point here in the NBA Finals and throughout the playoffs. And like every step of the way, we have seen Victor Wembanyama respond. We've seen him show up after a bad game with a good game and win when they were expected to kind of fall apart. So I'm guessing tonight he will do the same. We've seen it every step of the way with Wembanyama. Although, on the other side, Karl Anthony Towns is playing out of his mind. He is having the series of his life right now. And if it continues, the New York Knicks are going to win the finals. If Karl Anthony Towns continues to play the way he's played in games 1 and 2, the Knicks are going to be champions.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that what the difference is now is this is a New York series because you lost 2 games at home. It's going to be very tough for the Spurs to try to regain what they had at home. Now, look, Wemby had the 2 biggest mistakes in the game on Friday night. He had the bad pass. He had the missed attempted, game-winning shot at the end. But he was a huge part of that 14-point comeback at the end of the game. When they were down 14 late in that game, late in the fourth quarter, it was mostly him coming back and mounting that comeback. And that's why they were able and in position to make those mistakes. Now, they're glaring mistakes, and he's got to know better than that, but that's part of being a young team and why the conversation has been, do they have the experience? Do you need to lose first in this situation? Do you have to get to a conference finals and lose? Do you have to get to the NBA finals and lose before you can get back and win? And that's why a lot of people don't think that they're ready for this moment. I always thought getting into this moment, hey, it didn't matter because these guys don't know any better, right? Like if you don't know what you don't know, then why does it matter? Look, the Knicks have never been in NBA finals. This team hasn't been in NBA finals either. So why does it matter for them? Right? Like, yes, they're more battle-tested in the NBA playoffs all around, but it's not like the Knicks have gone to a bunch of NBA finals and lost either. So both these teams have zero NBA finals experience when it comes to being on this mega stage. But now the fact that this series shifts to New York and that crowd is going to be on fire for games 3 and 4, even if the Knicks lose tonight, even if you say, okay, they respond and the Spurs come out and they respond in game 3, even for game 4, it's not like the crowd is going to be down. They know what's at stake in game 4, having to go back to San Antonio if you have a chance to even the series or take a 3-game lead, a 3-1 lead and going back to San Antonio. Like the crowd is still going to be crazy for game 4. So I think even if New York splits here, it's going to be tough for San Antonio here to win 4 games in a row here.
No doubt. Absolutely. And I think that's where it's about the mindset, right? Jalen Brunson has this mindset where the job is not finished until it's done.
Yeah.
Right. And however you want to read into it, but it is possible that you could look at the way the Western Conference Finals ended and suggest the man tears from Wemby that he thought that they made it. Right? That like the emotions that came out after beating the Thunder was that they were crowned. That was the apex of the mountain to get over in this year's championship run, was you had to get past the Thunder. And when they did that, the emotions came out. Could you argue in hindsight that one team was focused knowing the job wasn't finished and the other team felt relieved that they got past the Thunder, and when they got to the finals, like you were saying, it would just be a cakewalk. All right, all season long, 2 best teams in the league, Thunder and Spurs. Who's going to win the championship? No one from the East. We have the Thunder and the Spurs. And then you get to that point, and you got a team on the other side that you have to play the game. 48 minutes, you got to play it. And that's why you and I last week, before the finals started, kept saying, like, hey, I get that it is one team is favored over the other, but you have to play the games. And when you're set in that setting with a team that is mentally tough and focused with those players, Bridges, Hart, you have Brunson, who is just an absolute killer at the end of games. Like, I'm not surprised that the Knicks have had their way. I am surprised they got both games in San Antonio. That was impressive. That was attention grabbing, and that is the stuff of legends, right? Like if somehow in the next 2 games, the Knicks come out and do what they did and they sweep the Spurs, then we can have those conversations. Is this an all-time great team? Unexpected, right? No one saw that coming.
I mean, they've won
13, like even the most diehard
in a row, man.
Even the most diehard New York Knicks fan, when you were playing the Atlanta Hawks in the first round, you did not think that this would be a team compared with the all-time greats in NBA history. You didn't.
No.
Be honest. You didn't.
No.
You were hoping to get past Jalen Johnson. That's what it was. And the Atlanta Hawks, a feisty group of Hawks.
No, but to be fair, when you say they've won 13 in a row, when you say
they've done it in dominating fashion.
And when you say they're on par with there's only 2 other teams that have won their first 2 finals games on the road. The 93 Bulls, the 95 Rockets, those 2 teams went on to win the NBA Finals. Like now, when you're starting to like cut teams down and like there's only a handful, 1 or 2 other teams, like, yeah, you have to start saying this is an all-time team. Are they the best finals team ever? No. Are they the best NBA team of all time? No.
If they sweep the Knicks, if they sweep the Spurs, we're gonna start having that conversation.
I've already seen
I'll tell you right
conversation out there that's saying that they're the best. If they do that, they're the best NBA playoff team of all time.
I mean, but you can't argue with the stats and the accomplishment.
I get that.
You just can't.
I understand that.
But again, you have to finish the job.
You have to finish the job first, yes.
And I do think the Spurs will get one of the next 2. This will not be a sweep.
Yeah, we both thought they would win on Friday, too.
Yeah, and we were wrong. We're here to be accountable. That's the Bleck Abdalla show.
I don't know if I'm getting to Knicks in 6, though.
You think you don't think the series will stretch to next Tuesday?
I don't know. I don't know
All
if
right.
I'm getting to Knicks in 6. I don't know. I might be Knicks in 5. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
No, it's
the
not
way
the
Knicks
same.
in 6 does, but you know.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. You can join the show. You can call or text us at 310-840-4910. You know, there's so much commotion and hype and hoopla going on around Madison Square Garden. Did you see the kid who's like sitting outside New York City and he's saying Jalen Brunson's name 100,000 times before the game tonight?
Yes.
Do you know where he's at? Have you seen an update?
I saw he was at like 70 something, right? Last I checked, it was like 70,000 something.
70,000. I mean, this is kids and everyone in New York City are just losing their minds over the New York Knicks. His name is Jake Epstein.
Yeah.
22-year-old Knicks fan. He's sitting outside. He's got a laptop, and every time he says Jalen Brunson's name, he adds another count to the counter. He's trying to get to 100,000.
Okay, could you do me a favor here? An impromptu. I know we don't usually do this right off the bat.
Sure.
But could you pull up your handy dandy sound page?
Yeah,
there for me?
you have a
Your
request?
Yeah.
What would you like?
Could you possibly ask me if I have any?
Oh, you have Zunu?
If I
Do you
have
have
any-
any? Does
if I have
Abdalla
any-
have any Zunu? Hold on. First segment Zunu.
Could you ask me if I have any?
Hold on.
No,
In
hold
the
on.
history
Hold
of the
on.
Bleck and
Hold
Abdalla
on.
show,
Hold on.
first segment.
I just want
All
to let
right.
you know something
All right.
here. I just
All
want to
right.
let you know
Hey,
something
Abdalla,
here.
Do you have any Zoo news?
I might.
Oh, wow.
I might.
Well, hello, Mr. Lion. Here's the latest edition of the Zoo News.
Look at this.
Future Zoo news.
What do you have?
Future Zoo news. The Knicks have won the finals, and someone has let all of the animals out of the Bronx Zoo. Someone has broken into the Bronx Zoo and let a gorilla
What
out.
is this?
Someone has let the lions out
This is a
of the
scene
Bronx
from
Zoo.
Jumanji or
Someone
something.
has you don't think that someone is gonna break into the Bronx Zoo? Like, I know that we report on the news of the zoo, and I know that the animals
Okay.
want to be let out of the zoo.
Yes.
But you don't think that someone's gonna try to climb the Empire State Building, and you don't think that someone is gonna try to let the animals out of the zoo? Like, dude, this is going to be anarchy in the streets. Like, they haven't accomplished anything yet. Like, I get it. Yeah, you're Eastern Conference Finals champions. Cool. You've won games 1 and 2 on the road. Like, you're almost there. You haven't finished the job yet. Like, you're as close can be.
I get it. You're still 2 games away.
I understand, but you've won the first 2 on the road.
You're still 2 games away, and technically, you don't have the best player in the series. I know Brunson's
know,
played like
man.
it through 2 games.
I don't know.
But technically, Wembanyama is the best player in the
What
series.
happened? Do we have video of Chet Holmgren and Wembanyama shaking hands at the end of the game? Did they shift powers at a certain point after the game? Did Chet Holmgren morph into? Did he shift that into Wembanyama? because something's up.
I mean, it's wild. Okay, so you didn't actually have Zoo News.
No, I have future Zoo News.
Future predictions in the Zoo News market.
Yeah, Zoo News market. Someone is going to let an animal out of the Bronx Zoo.
Please don't do that. Don't take advice from Adam Abdalla.
No, it's not advice. I don't want you to.
This is not how you should go.
I don't want you to.
No.
I'm not recommending that you do that.
Don't be the guy letting out the meerkats throughout the streets of New York.
I don't want anybody to be riding any animals. I don't want you to be riding a giraffe or a camel.
Don't do that.
You know
Watch
that
out.
someone is going to be doing that.
Watch out, the camel spit.
Someone's going to be trying to ride a police horse at some point. We don't recommend that. We don't endorse that.
Stay away from the police horses. That's a good way to get kicked in the face.
That's a good way to get hit with one of those batons, man.
Yeah, that's not right. All right,
do not do that.
You didn't actually have Zoo News.
No, I didn't have Zoo News, but I know that someone
is new at the zoo.
I know that someone is going to attempt to try to let a bear out of the zoo.
First segment Zoo News call. We haven't had that.
I
don't think we've ever had that in the show.
Someone's going to have a koala.
No. Leave the marsupials alone, right? A koala is not a bear. It's a marsupial,
those
right?
Those things carry syphilis, man. Don't they?
Why do you know that?
Everybody knows that.
I don't think so.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes, you did. Raj,
Raj,
parts unknown.
Did you know, Raj?
Did you know that koalas carry?
See, Raj didn't know.
Didn't know.
Come on.
I didn't know.
I can't be the only one that had that fun fact in his pocket.
What's up?
You and Jackson Dart.
All right. I guess me and the Darty party.
Yeah, you and the Darty party. So, okay. Game 3 tonight, 8:30 Eastern, live from New York City. The world will be watching. It will be a scene tonight in New York. The Knicks and the Spurs, and the Knicks are up 2-0. Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby was granted injunction versus the NCAA, and he is now eligible for 2026 for Texas Tech. I will tell you coming up next why I don't think he'll play this upcoming season. The final round of the basketball season is here, and the DraftKings Sportsbook app is now available in all 50 states.
Sweat every possession of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers can sign up with code BNA26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code BNA26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Wow, wow, wow.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Earlier this morning, Texas Tech star quarterback Brendan Sorsby was granted a temporary injunction against the NCAA. It will make him eligible for the upcoming season for the Red Raiders. So 2026, he's now eligible after being ruled ineligible by the NCAA for his own self-reporting of gambling on sports, including his own team when he was a backup at Indiana in the past. So this is the ruling. He's suspended for the first 2 games of the season, but he's eligible for 2026. This story's been going on now for a couple of months. He's gone to rehab for gambling addiction. It has been reported that he gambled upwards of $90,000 and placing thousands and thousands of bets, including bets on his own team. Now, he wasn't playing in said games that he was gambling on, but he was gambling on his own team in those games. I think this is all good for those who are Red Raider fans and those in Lubbock, because a judge in Lubbock County is the one that's granting this temporary injunction. But the NCAA will appeal this, right? Like I get that today. The headline is he's eligible to play for this upcoming season. And why should you care? I mean, not only is he a good quarterback in college football, Texas Tech is expected to be good again this upcoming season. He's their starting quarterback, star quarterback. And then on top of it, if you look at the NFL draft next year, the class of 2027, in some places he's ranked like 8th, 9th as the best possible prospect for next year's NFL draft in a very strong quarterback class. So he is a top 10 quarterback in college football. So that's why this is a big story. I just don't believe that the NCAA will not push back and then just allow this to take place this way.
Yeah, of course they will, because it sets a precedent, right?
Exactly.
Like, it sets a precedent. If he's allowed to get away with it, then everybody else would be able to get away with it. And the reason that the court ruled this is what they cite in the injunction, that Sorsby wouldn't be able to benefit from the elite coaching, training, resources, camaraderie, and regimen that only being a member of a Division I college football team can provide. Build the necessary and maximize his own success during the college football season, as well that of Texas Tech's football team and each of its players, and make an informed decision regarding whether to enter the 2026 NFL supplemental draft. So basically, the court ruled that unless he is allowed to go and practice and all that kind of stuff, he's not going to be able to be one of the boys and get the training he needs to be a successful quarterback. And you're right. The NCAA will fight this. One, you can't gamble on sports if you play sports. That's the rule. That's like the one rule. And you can't take steroids. That's the two rules. The two rules that you can have to follow. That's it. And look, you get to have a extremely luxurious lifestyle, even in college now. That's the thing. Like, before, you weren't supposed to. It was under the table. But before, you were a kid in a dorm and you would be given a stipend and some money under the table probably, but you weren't supposed to, and that was it.
You handed a bag. I mean, you don't know who's handing you said bag, and then they told you to keep that, whatever's in it.
The fact that he had $90,000 to just gamble away that's the point. The point is, now you are given hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of these guys get millions of dollars as collegiate athletes. You are afforded a great lifestyle now, whether you're a professional athlete or a collegiate athlete in some situations. Not all situations. Some collegiate athletes are still getting the minimum or sometimes nothing at all. You know, the last guys on the roster and stuff like that. But the quarterbacks are getting great money.
Yeah.
And the rule is you can't gamble. And if you gamble and you get caught or you turn yourself in, you're done. And that's it. So guess what? You're done.
I mean, for the sake of the NCAA, and listen, on this show, Bleck and Abdalla, we're never, for the most part, going to side with the NCAA or these big corporations trying to ruin our sports, right? Like, because a lot of what has happened as of late in college football, college basketball, hasn't been great. With that said,
however,
I mean, if the NCAA rules on something and all you have to do is find a favorable judge in your school's hometown, Lubbock, Texas, to rule in your favor in hopes that this is all on the up and up, which I don't believe it is. Then like, there are no rules. There are no rules to any of this. Well, because all it comes down to is who has the most money and who can convince someone locally to do something in favor for the university and the football team and the billionaires who are pouring money into the university. That's what this is.
This isn't a slippery. This isn't the you guys are. This isn't you guys are siding with the NCAA and you guys are siding with the big corporation that is the NCAA and blah blah blah. No, this is the slippery slope that people that have been worried about allowing gambling, legalized gambling all over the country, and having it be available on your phone and available to everybody, this is what people are worried about happening, is that someone gambled on their sport, on their team, and is allowed to keep playing. And that person can be affected by either their bets or influenced by someone else's bets. Because we don't know if he gambled for or against his team. And this is an addiction, right? Like, he went to rehab for this.
Yep.
I'm not going to say how or when he's going to fight his demons and whatever. I hope he gets the help, but there's no telling when or whether he falls back into that bad habit or not. He should be able to play in the NFL. That's fine. You want to go into the supplemental draft and you want to be drafted in the NFL and you want to make a living for yourself, that's fine. But you turned yourself in college. That's the rules. You can't do it. And guess what? If you go into the NFL and you get caught doing it in the NFL, you're done in the NFL too. Like that, or you pay the price in the NFL. Like you're suspended for a certain amount of games, and then you pay your price, and then you get to come back and play in the NFL. Like there are rules in place. Like you have to follow the rules. Like if you get caught taking steroids or whatever it is, human growth hormone, HGH, whatever, performance enhancing drugs, you're suspended for a certain amount of games, and then you get to come back and play. Like you have to. The punishment is you're done as a collegiate athlete. That's just it. Sorry. You don't get to play anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's where you look at this situation and it just seems so unserious, right? Like, here's the ruling. As long as you can lawyer up and you have deep enough pockets, you can go find someone to side with you, and that's it.
Yeah.
And, like, the rules don't apply. Why? Because Texas Tech has a billionaire backing their athletic programs. Mm-hmm. And they're going to fund fighting something like this. And you're right. It doesn't matter that you're gambling on your team or your sport or placing thousands and thousands of bets, which are a separate problem for himself to begin with, just as a human, like dealing with gambling addiction. But then also, like, The Athletic also has a column up about this, talking about how the ruling from the NCAA might not be the only thing that Sorsby has to worry about, because the NCAA's court filings does not specify what law enforcement's looking into, because it is possible he has broken the law in various states based on the gambling while being a collegiate athlete and everything that goes into that, whether it be with Ohio or Indiana state law. And those investigations have not completed. So, like, he could face something in the future as well with this, and it's in the Athletic article. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's also the fact that Cincinnati is, I believe, suing him over damages based on jumping off of the ship in Cincinnati to go take more NIL money with Texas Tech.
Interesting.
So, I mean, there is so much, like, none of this has to do with football, college football stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it. I understand why Texas Tech fans desperately want Sorsby to be their quarterback next season, because if he's their quarterback, they have a shot at a national title.
Oh, of course they do. Yeah,
right? And
They're definitely a playoff team.
You know, if it stands the way it is today, you only miss the first two games. Abilene Christian, game 1, September 5. Mm-hmm. Okay, no worries there. Oh. On the road, week 2, September 12 at Oregon State. Okay. Oregon State's not that good. You're all right. No. Here's the key. Will he be ready for week 3? Will Sorsby be there ready to go week 3? Houston at home against Houston. 7 o'clock game, Fox Television. That's a big game. Tech and Houston. How about that? Got to make sure the quarterback's there for that one.
I think that he can go in the supplemental draft because there are, like you said, he's the 8th best prospect. Not the 8th best quarterback. The 8th best prospect in the draft.
Yeah.
Someone will draft him in the supplemental draft. Someone will take him. And he will get, like, look, he's not going to get a big that's the problem here. I think that's the issue here. The issue here is supplemental draft.
He wants to go in the draft next year, so he gets first-round money.
Yeah, supplemental draft, you ain't getting first-round money.
No.
First-round money is a lot different than supplemental draft money. Minimum NFL money is not minimum wage money, but it's still minimum NFL money versus first-round money. So if he goes back for a year, regardless of what he's getting, like if they say you can go back, but you're not getting NIL, whatever punishment he has to get, he's still going in the first round. And if he's a top 10 pick, that's a huge payday compared to supplemental draft. If someone's willing to take a risk, and look, it's the NFL, someone's going to draft him in the first round and just hope that he has gotten the help he needs and isn't going to gamble anymore.
I mean, think about the teams and the quarterbacks. Teams take risks on all the time.
I know.
Like, I mean, if you're a team that has a not so bright quarterback future, why wouldn't you take a risk?
Of course.
Of bringing in Sorsby, especially if it's supplemental? You don't have to use a first-round draft pick on a quarterback that theoretically has a first-round grade?
Listen, this is all about money. He does not want to have to go in the supplemental draft because of how much money he's going to lose by not being a top 10 pick.
Well, that and in NIL funds for this year, he is due $5 million. So, I mean, if you gamble away $90,000, but you have $5 million coming back to you.
Yeah, but listen.
Right?
You turn 5, you could turn, listen, nice three-team parlay. You could turn 5.
I understand that.
You could turn 5 into 25 real quick.
I understand the logic there. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Max Crosby was traded here in this offseason to the Ravens. The trade fell apart. So now Max Crosby is a Raider. How long will he be a Raider, though? Could he get moved in the season? Some possible destinations that Max Crosby could get traded to. We'll tell you about those coming up next.
Wow, whoa. The Knicks are up 2-0. New York stole 2 games in San Antonio. The next 2 are in the Garden with a chance to sweep. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Max Crosby was traded in the offseason, and then he wasn't traded. That's the best way to say it. He was traded to the Ravens. He got to the building. The vibe was off. And then the Ravens are like, we don't want you. We want Trey Hendrickson. And so they pulled the trade. Crosby goes back to the Raiders. And now he's with the Las Vegas Raiders, face of the team. They also have Mendoza. A little awkward, he and Kirk Cousins, because, you know, they're going to start Cousins, even though Mendoza should be the starter from day one. But they're going to do that kind of messy thing where we all know that the quarterback who was drafted first overall should be the guy that's starting immediately. Don't wait. Don't play Kirk Cousins so then you start the season 2-7 and then start the rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Do that from the jump. Max Crosby is still in the fold. The question is, will Max Crosby be with the Raiders for the entire season? Or will he get moved still in this season and play for someone else this season?
I think it depends on the market for Max Crosby. I think that it depends on what his value is now. Now that, you know, that another team has had concerns with his knees. And now other teams, besides the Ravens, can kind of use that against the Raiders. They can say, well, look at what one team said. They're concerned about his knees. Not this year. He's going to perform at a high level.
Yeah.
But in
long term,
3 years from now, even 2 years from now, what are we going to get if we're going to give up 2 first-round picks, especially now, because now it's not a 2026. Now we're talking about 27, 28 first-round picks. What is that going to look like for us when Max Crosby has to have another knee cleanup every offseason or something like that, or he's got to sit out because of soreness or whatever, right? So I think that the Ravens kind of threw a wrench into this whole value of Max Crosby because they went back on the trade, and now teams are absolutely going to use that to their advantage and kind of reset the market. It's still definitely worth at least 1 first-round pick. I don't know if they're going to get 2. I think it's going to be 1 and some other things. I mean, look, I know it was Jared Verse and a first-round pick. That's kind of like, what do you want to say, like 2.5 first-round picks?
Yeah.
For Myles Garrett, and then
For
a
sure.
second-round pick and a third-round pick. I mean, that's a lot of compensation for the best defensive player in the league. So I think that if you can get 1 first-round pick and then some other stuff, maybe a third-round pick and some other things for Crosby, you might, if you're the Raiders, you look and see how he's playing, and you might consider that.
Max Crosby talked to the media over the weekend, and this is what he had to say about the Ravens trade being under the water under the bridge.
You know, I don't really want to talk about that, to be honest. It's water under the bridge. It's a long time ago. A lot of things I learned, you know, about what's going on and just, you know, what this league can bring. A lot of adversity, a lot of different things. You can't really anticipate a lot, but ultimately, you know, I've been through a lot of my life. It's nothing to me. it is what it is. I'm here and I want to be here and I'm excited to be here. And I got a lot of work to do, but yeah, it's water under the bridge.
Okay, so that's Max Crosby. He also spoke about remaining with the Raiders for this season.
Yeah, I'm fired up. Everyone knows my love and appreciation for this organization. That never changed, from day one. That's part of the business. There's a lot of other things that, don't need to be discussed, but ultimately I'm exactly where I want to be. I'm excited and, just being here with this group. We have a extremely smart and great leader of men in Clint Kubiak, coaching staff that is very detailed and very, I would say, tentative with everything they do. They're very, intentional with everything that we're trying to accomplish. We're not just going out there checking boxes. We're trying to get things done the right way and establish a foundation so that when the season comes, we're not out there, making it up. It's just we go out and play football, and we have a plan, and this is how we need to execute.
All right, so that was Max Crosby. It's what you would say with the team that you're with. Okay? Will he play somewhere else? That's the question on the table. Could there be another team out there that makes a run to add Max Crosby? There are a few teams that come to mind that need help on the defensive edge side to get after the quarterback that could maybe put them over the top. Here's an idea from Bart Scott. He believes the Eagles could go after Max Crosby.
Howie Roseman is going to take this space that he had. We just saw what happened with Myles Garrett, and he's not going to be one up by anybody. I think Max Crosby is going to Philadelphia. I think they have the player in Nolan Smith to trade, and they can mimic the same trade, and the arms race is just beginning, and I love the NFL.
Okay, I love the NFL as well. Shout out to Bart Scott. Yes, I love the NFL. Absolutely. Yeah. Love the NFL.
I love the NFL too, Bart.
Summer football coming up in 12 minutes.
All
yes,
right.
we love the NFL. Yes, Bart. All right, so the Eagles are a team. Here's Mike Florio. He thinks that Crosby could still get traded to the Chicago Bears.
He's enough of a star that if he's not on board with it, I would want to talk to him before I do it. I don't think he's a guy that you just dump onto the Bears without making sure the Bears are okay with it. But still, it could be presented to him at some point. Hey, Max, we know you want to stay here, but the Bears are making us an offer that we're not inclined to refuse. And I think it would be easier for Max Crosby to talk himself into going from the Raiders to the Bears than it was for Jared Verse to talk himself into going from the Rams to the Browns.
All right, so there's Florio. Maybe the Chicago Bears. So the Eagles and the Bears, the two teams that are thrown out there by talking heads who one loves football, not sure. Mike Florio wasn't on the record whether or not he loves football as well, but yep.
He didn't say it, so we can only assume he doesn't.
We know that Bart Scott does.
Yeah,
because he said it.
Yeah, we can only assume that Florio does not love ball.
Oh, so you're going to assume the negative.
I'm going to assume that he doesn't
because he didn't state.
If you don't end your sentence with I love football.
Yes,
I think. Look, you can never count out the Eagles out of anything. I don't know if Bart Scott got some inside info, but Howie Roseman is always trying something. Like they were in on Myles Garrett. They were trying for Myles Garrett. So you never know. So I don't think the Bears are going to be in on Max Crosby. I
would love it.
I would love it too.
I find
as
it
a
hard
Bears
to believe
fan,
that they'll pull that off.
I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they believe in trading that many future assets for Max Crosby. I think that they believe in the guys that they have, and we'll see if Dennis Allen can get the most out of them. I just don't, and I love football. So,
yes, I love football as well. Yeah,
I'm just letting people know.
I know. Yeah,
I don't want it to be an issue.
Okay. Well, here, let me make my statement, and then we'll see if I land in the same spot. Okay. I would not be surprised if the Eagles pulled something like this off. It's kind of how they operate. Mm-hmm. They are much like how the Rams work, where whenever you think, oh, they've got enough, they go and make a splashy move to get something more to put them closer to the top. The Chicago Bears, the vibe I get with the Bears right now is that they see on the horizon what's going to take place with their salary cap. And what I mean by that is I think they see on the horizon that they have a quarterback that they're going to have to give an extension to that will be the largest extension in NFL history.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, the approach of win all in right now is not what they're doing. I think what they're doing is they want to get the most out of the players that they have and coach them up. And that's how they're going to win.
A quarterback and wide receiver. If Rome hits.
Yeah.
If Rome Odunze hits.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's Caleb Williams and it's the contract that the Chicago Bears, who they're notoriously known for not having liquid cash outside of the franchise itself. And I think that extension, much like how the Bengals have operated with Joe Burrow on his big-time deal, I feel like the all-in mentality of sacrificing the future and draft picks and draft capital to go make a run at a title now is not the vibe the Bears are taking into this season.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I love football as well.
Oh, okay, there it is.
And I love football.
There it is.
So I just want to make sure that we're both on the record there, that we both love football.
We do both love football. And I understand Bart Scott's opinion there of, well, they've got a guy that they could trade and it could mimic. The trades don't have to mimic each other.
Yeah, but it could.
It could.
It would work.
It could, but
I could see it working.
You could also just go back and do the same deal that the Ravens were going to do for Max Crosby and just say, hey, they think his knees are busted. We think his knees are busted. We're not giving you 2 first-round picks. We're going to give you 1 first-round pick and a few other picks. Like we're not going to include a young player anymore. Like we're just not going to do it. Like the two trades, just because one thing happened doesn't mean other things have to mimic it.
Yeah, and that's true. I just think Max Crosby on the Eagles or the Bears would certainly get those two teams closer to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, of course.
Are they better than the Rams? I don't know, but I think you could make a case that the Eagles or the Bears are better than like the Seahawks, are better than the Ravens or the Bills. You could make that case to me. You could say that if either of those teams landed Max Crosby, they're now into that top 4 best teams in the NFL category. You can make that argument. I think it would be a stretch, especially in Chicago's side of things. But
yeah,
I think it would be more likely for Philly to make a move like this than it would Chicago.
Absolutely. For sure.
I do know, like, it's been in the news all weekend, the idea that the Bears are moving to Indiana.
Guys.
Nothing has actually happened yet. I know we broadcast from the great city of Chicago each and every day, but, like, the vibe here is I don't think people think here in Chicago that they're still actually moving to Indiana.
No. What's happening is still leverage plays. What's happening is that politicians are still meeting with the Bears here in Illinois. It's not a thing yet.
It's not final. So we'll keep our eyes on it, and we'll let you know if we hear anything as well. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. We celebrate football. Coming up next, who's the most underrated quarterback in the NFL? We'll talk about it.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck, along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from downtown Chicago. On the air until 3 Eastern. You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. Tonight, Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Can't wait to watch that. The Knicks are up in the series 2 games, though. We'll see if the Spurs can bounce back. But here on the show, Bleck and Abdalla, we love talking football. We love football.
And I love the NFL.
Yeah, we love the NFL. Thank you, Bart Scott.
Thanks, Bart.
We appreciate it, yes.
I love the NFL.
But here on this show, we love to celebrate the game of football. And I know here in the summer, people are like, there's no football taking place. It does not matter.
How dare
because
you.
here on the Bleck and Abdalla show, we love to celebrate the summer of football.
I proclaim this the summer of football! What the hell's going on out here? We're going to be here all day, baby! I like this kind of party. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys. We need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots.
The summer of football with Bleck and Abdalla.
I throw, you catch. It's not that hard, okay?
Westwood One Sports, the home of the NFL. We celebrate football each and every day here in the summer. Today, day 93. Getting closer to the start of the NFL season. 93 days away from kickoff of the NFL season.
Ooh.
So today here on the Summer of Football, this is our feature. We go to NFL.com. Bucky Brooks has an article up. Jared Goff is the NFL's most underrated quarterback. Is Justin Herbert the most overrated? So, Abdalla, I pose the question to you. If I said who in the NFL is the most overrated and most underrated quarterback, who would you select? For underrated, where would you go? I think Jared Goff might be the answer. I think Bucky Brooks is onto something there.
I think it's tough to think of someone other than Jared Goff. The last 3 years, he's been second in yards. Every single year.
Yeah.
Second.
He's been great.
Second. Like, it's crazy. And the year before that, 4 years ago, he was sixth. So, like, he's been top 6 in yards the last 4 years. Like, and I get it. Their offense has been great. Their offense, it's no secret. Ben Johnson became the coach of the Bears last year. That Ben Johnson offense with Detroit has been awesome the last few years before he left. They had some injuries last year. They were still decent last year. But Jared Goff has been, and that offense has always been very good. You know, they obviously haven't won a Super Bowl or anything yet. But Jared Goff, to me, is never, when you think, like we just talked about the tiers. We just talked about Chris Sims' quarterback tiers.
That's right. We did that on Friday.
Jared Goff wasn't in the top tier.
No, he wasn't.
I don't even think he was in the second tier, was he?
No, I don't believe so. He wasn't top 10.
I mean,
wasn't he like from like 10 to 15 in that range?
I think he was. So I don't disagree with that sentiment. I mean, when we think of, he's probably right now, at least stats wise, we know he's the best quarterback in that division.
Yeah, he was 13th in Sims rankings from Friday that we talked about.
I mean, stats wise, he's a top 10 quarterback. He's the top 2 in yards.
I mean, here are the names. This is from Chris Sims last week. The names ahead of Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Baker Mayfield, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams, Matthew Stafford, Mahomes, Jackson, Burrow, Allen.
This year, he was second in yards, second in touchdowns. He only threw 8 interceptions, and he was sacked 38 times. He has a 68% completion percentage. Like, he's really good.
He is definitely, like, I feel like the conversation of saying which quarterback is the most underrated in the NFL, I think we could all come to the same conclusion that it's one guy, and it's Jared Goff.
Yeah.
When you say most overrated, I think we can throw out a bunch of different names.
Yeah.
And that's a different conversation.
Absolutely.
But I do think, and you can text the show at 310-840-4910, underrated, I think we would all agree. It's Jared Goff. He's a winner.
Mm-hmm.
He has the stats. He doesn't make catastrophic mistakes in games. The only knock on the Lions and Jared Goff is they've yet to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Outside of that, he's done everything else.
And usually that's because of their defense. Like, it hasn't been.
What is it about it? Is it the personality? Like, why don't people appreciate his game more than what they do? There's something about it. This is going to sound strange, but he has like a sloth-like quality to him. I don't know why. It's like, is it that like California cool thing? I don't get it.
I don't know.
Like, why
System
like,
guy?
why yeah, people say it's a system thing, but it clearly isn't.
No.
He had success with the Rams, and I know that
he had success last year without Ben Johnson.
Right. That's what I'm saying is like every step of the way. Is it because he was a number 1 pick and he's just not like a flashy guy?
No, I don't know.
Right, because like other number 1 picks, Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams, like people talk about them.
Well, look at Sims' top 5 list, okay?
Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, like those quarterbacks all get talked about more than Jared Goff.
If you just go off of Sims' list, off of his tiers. His top 4 were the ones that everybody has. It's Burrow, it's Mahomes, it's Allen, and it's Lamar, right? Only one of those guys has a ring, and it's Mahomes, and he has multiple.
Yeah, it's true.
The rest of those guys have, Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. That's it. So it's not like we're not knocking those other guys for anything. Like, he's right there. I don't understand. He's right. Bucky Brooks is right. He is the most underrated quarterback in the league.
All right, so there you go. Bucky Brooks on NFL.com. It's the summer of football, day 93, as we focus on football, and we have 93 days until the start of the NFL season. So
who's your most overrated?
If that's one side, underrated, the most overrated quarterback in the NFL. And I think this is where we can get a lot of different opinions on this. So you can call the show at 310-840-4910. You can also text the show at that same number, 310-840-4910. Bucky Brooks points to Justin Herbert as the most overrated quarterback in the NFL. I think he makes some good points. I understand where he's coming from. That is not who I would place as the most overrated quarterback. I would specifically look at one guy who I think is a strict system guy, system quarterback.
I think we're going to say the same guy.
Oh, really?
I think we're going to say the same guy.
You really think so?
I think so.
All right, since we both love the NFL. We both love the NFL, so we love the NFL. Yeah, we love the NFL.
Because you said strict system guy.
Yeah, we both love the NFL. Yes. Yes, Hold on, Raj. We will do, We love the NFL. Okay, so we want to do this on 3. We're both good. So we go
1, 2, 3, shoot, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Brock Purdy.
Yep. Yep. That was the name. When I'm looking at, like, to me, Brock Purdy is the most overrated quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. I feel like because I respect what he can do.
I love how a strict system guy gave it away.
Yeah, it did. It is because I respect what he can do, but I think that if Shanahan could have like almost any of these other competent guys, like what do you think Shanahan could do with Baker Mayfield?
Oh, they would win the Super Bowl.
Like, what do you think Shanahan could do? And I'm just going baseline here. Just baseline.
Baker with the 49ers would be a Super Bowl team.
Like, to me, that's the baseline, right?
Baker with the 49ers, you get a better result than you saw last year with Seattle and Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah, probably.
You see how I'm connecting those dots?
Yeah.
How, like, Sam Darnold, the Seahawks got the most out of Sam Darnold, and they ran to a championship.
Yeah.
Shanahan getting Baker Mayfield would take that to a new level.
Like, I was going to say my second most overrated, and this is going to sound extremely biased given that we are broadcasting out of the great city of Chicago. What if I gave Shanahan Jordan Love?
I could see it. Yeah. That would be better than Brock Purdy.
Like, I think Jordan Love is kind of overrated.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I just do.
I think he's rated properly.
I think he's kind of overrated. I think people look at the Toyotathon stats and they're like, oh, wow, look what he can do when it's cold out. And it's like, yeah, but they play games all season, guys.
I would guess like another name that I don't think meets the criteria for being overrated is CJ Stroud, because I think we've seen him struggle.
Yeah, we've seen him. Yeah, we have.
So I don't think CJ Stroud meets that criteria.
Like, okay, how about this? How about since he says
Herbert's interesting.
Okay, since Bucky Brooks says Herbert, right?
Yeah.
Give Shanahan Justin Herbert.
Oh, yeah, that's an MVP.
Give Shanahan Justin Herbert.
That's an MVP of the league then.
Come on.
I mean, Justin Herbert's in the combo of being a guy that could win an MVP without Shanahan. So I
want to see. I cannot wait to see what Herbert looks like this year with this new offense.
Yeah.
With Mike McDaniel in there running this offense, coming in and it's speeding it up and everything. Like, I think this to me is one of the most fascinating things of this NFL season, and I love the NFL. So I can't wait to see what this does, what McDaniel brings in.
Yes, thank you, Bart Scott.
I love the NFL.
Yeah,
and this kind of retooling of an offensive line and bringing in a couple new weapons and like what they do with the Chargers and what he's able to get out of Herbert now that he's just focusing on offense. Because just like Josh McDaniels and Mike McDaniel, I think that they're better served as just being coordinators.
And that might be the case, and we will see that this upcoming season. Raj, who are you going to say? Who's the most overrated quarterback in the NFL?
Well, I wasn't thinking for myself. I was thinking more for you guys, and I thought you were both going to say Jalen Hurts. I thought you guys were going to go to Jalen Hurts. When you were when it was 1, 2, 3, I was expecting you guys to see
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, okay, all right. No, that's a fair way to look at it. But yeah, I don't disagree with that. Okay,
I don't think he's
overrated.
I don't think he's overrated because I think people.
I'm guessing a lot of people are going to point it right back at us and say, "What about your guy in
Caleb
Chicago?"
Williams? Yeah,
I'm guessing a lot of people are going to be like, "Yeah, Madden 27, the dude's overrated." I'm guessing people are going to say that.
I think in both cases, Jalen Hurts and Caleb Williams, they are highly debated and highly contested enough where they are properly rated. Like enough people, we argue so much about where Jalen Hurts ranks as a quarterback that I think he's very properly rated. You either think he's bad and can't win games and can only tush push and can't throw downfield, or you think he's a winner and gets better every single year, and when it's crunch time, the dude gets the job done, and it's all A.J. Brown's fault, and it's all the offensive line's fault, and it's all everybody else besides Jalen. There's only one of two ways.
You can text the show at 310-840-4910. We get a text from the 443, Derek in Baltimore. He says, as a 49ers fan, y'all are both crazy. What does Goff, Caleb, Lawrence, or Love do better than Brock Purdy? Brock is a system quarterback, but Goff isn't? Every quarterback is a system quarterback. That's from Derek in Baltimore. Shout out, Derek.
Well, I would say that when...
he does have a point.
Yeah,
I think I'm less impressed with the skill set of Brock Purdy than the other quarterbacks, and that's why I say that he's overrated. Because I think anyone can do what he does. I don't know if Brock Purdy can do what Jared Goff does. I don't think Brock Purdy could do what Caleb Williams did last year. I don't think Brock Purdy could do what Jordan Love does. I just don't see it.
I think if you put Brock Purdy on the Bears last year, he's a dead man. Plain and simple. Like, he's not evading the pocket. He's not running around and creating plays out of nothing and throwing those balls, 10 to 15 yards after running around and then throwing them for 40-yard gains and having those huge chunk plays down the field because he's getting sacked all the time the way Caleb was able to evade guys, I don't think that if you put him on the Rams, he's not getting the same plays the way that Matthew Stafford is. I just don't. I think that he's fine for Shanahan's system. I think that Shanahan...
He's fine for his system.
He is. And look,
that's such a
backhanded compliment.
Yeah, right. He's fine. He's fine for that system.
I think that Shanahan. Yeah. I think Shanahan
he
likes him.
He has been better than the other quarterbacks they've had there. He's better than Jimmy G was.
He absolutely has. But you can't tell me that Shanahan wouldn't take an upgrade, wouldn't take Justin Herbert.
Of course not.
Wouldn't take Baker Mayfield.
I think Baker's the one that solidifies how overrated Brock Purdy is, because I think you're right. Baker Mayfield would be taken by all of those other teams to replace Brock Purdy. Like if Brock Purdy was with the Eagles and you said, would you rather have Brock Purdy or Baker Mayfield? So you'd want Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Man, you could see Baker in that 49ers offense, like play action boot off of Christian McCaffrey, hitting George Kittle. Oh, man.
Raj, those are the things of dreams. Yeah, those are the things of football dreams here on the Bleck Abdalla Show.
I love the NFL.
Yeah, because we love the NFL. Yep, absolutely.
Hey, Mike Evans left Baker Mayfield to go play with Brock Purdy. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Well, and Brandon Ayuk, whatever the hell's going on there.
And Brock has to overcome the substation. So, there's factors here.
And also, he's online talking that he's upset, essentially what it seems like, that the 49ers won't let him go. The 49ers don't need to do anything. Like the best thing that the 49ers could do is nothing, and if he never plays again, guess what? The money goes off the books.
Yeah.
That's it. 49ers don't have to do anything.
Yeah. It's just a weird situation, man.
Of course it is. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. So there you go. There's the summer of football. How about that? We are 93 days away from the start of the NFL season. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood Ones. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. We're matriculating through the off season.
Pretty soon we're going to be in the 80s.
I know.
And then the 70s.
I know.
And next thing you know, we're going to say, Raj, we're almost there. We're 50 days away from the start of the NFL season.
Man.
Summer flies, man. Absolutely. How about tonight? Game 3 of the NBA Finals. The atmosphere at the Garden will be a big factor in tonight's game. We'll talk about that coming up next in One-on-One with Raj. International soccer is taking over the U.S., and only DraftKings has you fully covered.
The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states. Sweat all the matches you love all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers can sign up with code B&A26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code B&A26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Wow, wow, whoa. The Knicks are up 2-0. New York stole 2 games in San Antonio. The next 2 are in the Garden with a chance to sweep. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Hanging out with you each and every day until 3 Eastern. Live from the great city of Chicago, it's Bleck and Abdalla. This time of the show, we love to go on out to Colorado, parts unknown, and we bring in Raj Sharon. That's right.
The next question comes from the line of Raj Sharan with Westwood One. Please proceed.
Please proceed on a Monday, a little one-on-one with Raj. Hello, Raj.
Hello, fellas. It's hot out here in parts unknown. Bleck loves it. He loves it. He loves it hot.
Yeah,
Abdalla, you'd appreciate it. It's a dry heat. It's a dry heat here.
There we go.
Hot.
In the least
summer,
sweaty city in the country. It's a dry heat. All right. Well, let's get after it. Let's go one-on-one. All right. The big storyline of tonight's game, it's not the game. It's the atmosphere around the game. So I ask you, Abdalla, the atmosphere at Madison Square Garden will or won't be the biggest factor in tonight's game?
I'm going to say it's not going to be the biggest factor in tonight's game. It's going to be a factor. I mean, look, tickets prices are falling. I think it's around $3,000 to get in, so the common man might be able to get in.
Oh, hear that, Raj? He's going to fly us out. He's going to buy tickets for us.
We don't have to lay down under Chalamet's chair like we were talking about doing last week.
No, you don't have to if you don't want to. I mean, look,
I still think some people would.
$3,000. Oh, listen, yeah. I mean, the guy that's willing to let the gorilla out of the zoo is definitely sitting under Chalamet's legs to watch this game tonight. Okay, some diehards out there.
Bing bong.
I think it's still going to be the fact that they haven't found an answer for Karl Anthony Towns. They haven't found an answer for Brunson. They still haven't found an answer for a way to stop these guys. Like, you still haven't found an answer for the others around Jalen Brunson. And if everybody's playing well, we know that guys tend to play better at home too. So that feeds into the atmosphere of being at home. But the Spurs haven't really played that well at home. So home atmosphere hasn't really mattered in this series so far. So I don't think it really matters right now.
Interesting, Raj. You said the
What's up?
the atmosphere. Thank you, Jackson. What were you referring to, Raj? You said something's going on.
I'm talking about the hoopla. I'm talking about the fans. I'm talking about the celebrities.
Yes.
I'm maybe talking about somebody else there. All that kind of tying in.
The Knicks do wear orange.
The mayor of New York?
Sure.
He's reported to be there as well.
He is going to be there.
Yeah, you're talking about the president.
Yes.
Who will be there. And the hoopla around the fact that Secret Services have to have it secure. The Garden, they're telling people to show up 2 hours in advance to the game.
Travel size shampoo only. Okay, do not try bringing your full bottle of shampoo into the Garden tonight. Won't work.
Right. It's like you're boarding a flight. No bags allowed. None of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, Raj, I will say I think it will be a factor because, first of all, the New York Knicks fan base, they've got to be in the running for the best fans in sports. It pains me to say it as a diehard Chicago sports fan, diehard Chicago Bulls fan, but you have to respect what Knicks fans do. You really do. The Garden is a great place to watch a game on TV. You can feel the energy jump through the screen. The fans bring it constantly. You know tonight, the moment the game starts, that place is going to be loud.
Oh, I can't wait.
From the jump. Knicks fans were loud in San Antonio for games 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing to the state of Texas. The fact that there were so many Knicks fans
Hey, you call that the whole state? They got other NBA teams in that state. You're still calling it
the
out.
whole state.
Do they have celebrity fans?
Yeah.
Who?
The Selena Gomez.
Really?
Yeah.
She was there?
You've never seen the photos of her in a Spurs jersey?
No.
Sitting courtside?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
They had Eva Longoria, but that was the Tony Parker era.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
They've got fans.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's on them. How the heck did you get all those Knicks fans down there for games 1 and 2? So yeah, Raj, I think that I think it will be a factor. And think about this, okay? Dream scenario for the Knicks. Say tonight, San Antonio responds. They get off to a quick start, and the Spurs are up into the third quarter, and then like a 15-point game, and then it turns into a 12-point game. And then Josh Hart hits a 3 from the corner. It's a 9-point game. You know that place is going to be up for grabs. If the Knicks can then start to chip away and make it a close game in the final 5 minutes like they did in game 1, it's going to be an unreal scene. So, yes, I think it will be a factor, Raj. Absolutely.
All right, guys, over to the NFL. The two biggest name receivers that we assume will be in new places this season are Brandon Ayuk and Stephon Diggs. We got Ayuk doing whatever he's doing on these Instagram videos. I don't know what he's talking about, avoiding the belt. Diggs, from understanding, has been cleared of everything, but I haven't heard of him taking visits or anything anywhere. These are two kind of number one receiver guys that are available. Who's going to make the bigger impact this season, Bleck? Brandon Ayuk or Stephon Diggs?
It's wild to say that I think Stephon Diggs is in a better headspace to make a difference with an NFL team. And that's the way I'm going to lean. I don't get what's going on with Brandon Ayuk. I'm not going to pretend to guess on what's happening, but I think, unfortunately, I got to lean towards Stephon Diggs.
I'm going to say Diggs because we don't even know if Ayuk's going to be playing.
Yeah.
The 49ers don't have to do anything. They don't have to trade him.
I mean, here's the one thing. The one thing we know about Stephon Diggs is he does show up and play football.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you can say that about Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Diggs, too, just because, I mean, if the 49ers, Chris said it a few minutes ago, they could just sit there and do nothing and let the money run out. So he could sit there for another few seasons.
And Raj, based on what he said on Instagram, I don't know if there's an NFL team that wants to deal with that.
There's always a team. There's always a team. There's always one team. There's always
I
one
don't know.
team.
I guess there's always a team, but there's also how good are you? I don't know if Brandon Ayuk is that good. Right? Like that team's like, this isn't, I kind of feel like it's a different scenario, but I kind of feel like we treaded into the waters with, what's his name? Antonio Brown?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For a few years, teams were like, we're willing to put up with the headache. Let's bring him in.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's here. He'll make sure everything's on the up and up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then you realize, like, it's not worth the headache.
Yeah.
His last full season was 23. Now, it was a great season. He had over 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns, but that was a couple years ago.
That is so long ago.
Yeah. Unbelievable. All
Stephon
right, guys.
Diggs, that's the answer.
Let's go back to tonight. Let's go back to the NBA Finals. The biggest reason the Knicks are up 2-0 is Jalen Brunson or Karl Anthony Towns. Abdalla?
It's Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Brunson is going to get all the accolades. He's going to get the key to New York City. But it is Karl Anthony Towns. He has played insanely well. He's been insanely tough, which is weird to say, but he's played insanely well against Victor Wembanyama. And I wish I could get a better price on him to be Finals MVP than plus 170 on DraftKings. Promo code BNDay26.
Shout out.
You don't need to add the shout out. We just say that.
BNA26.
BNA26. I probably should have gotten this before the series started, but I do think that if he plays as well as he has the next 2 games, like, look, Jalen Brunson is going to put up 25, 30 a night, so he's going to get it. He's going to get Finals MVP, but Karl Anthony Towns should have real consideration for it. He's played outstanding basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what's difficult about it is the Knicks are not in the position that they're in if Jalen Brunson's not there. So Jalen Brunson is their best player. He's lights out at the end of games. He controls everything they do offensively. But as Abdalla laid out, what we've seen from Karl Anthony Towns in 2 games of the NBA Finals, I did not think Cat could get to. He is someone that people have always looked at as a player that folds under pressure, softer sometimes, not willing for the challenge, and the opposite. He's taking it to Wemby. He's playing great defense, clearly affecting the mindset of Wembanyama and his decision-making and the turnovers, and he's forcing bad shots from Wemby. It's Cat right now, if they win, he has been the reason why they're going to win the finals. His play right now. Now, they don't get to this point without Brunson.
Yeah.
So I think when you say what's the biggest reason the Knicks are up 2-0, it's because Jalen Brunson is proving that he's like a top 10 player in the league and that no one can really guard him. Right? Like that, like, isn't that like, I don't need to have the conversation. I'm not here for the shock value or the clip to go viral to say Jalen Brunson's a top 3 player in the NBA. That's not true. No. But situationally, no one can stop him.
No.
And when you have a dude like that on your team, you can win every game, right? So I'm reluctantly, Raj, to answer your question, I'm going to say Jalen Brunson, even though if they do win the finals, it's because Karl Anthony Towns showed up.
That's why it was a compelling question. You can make arguments either way.
Great
All right.
question.
We got some news last week. Some of our NFL TV crews are starting to take shape, so I'm going to put you guys on the spot to pick your Sunday pregame crew, or I guess I'll include Monday in this as well. All right, we got CBS now with Russell Wilson and friend of the program, Kyle Long, joining along with Coach Cowher and Nate Burleson. Over on Fox, no changes, the same crew, Terry, Howie, Jimmy, Strahan, Gronk. All right, ESPN, they got 2 crews. They got the Sunday crew, that's like Brewski and Randy Moss and Rex Ryan and Alex Smith. They also have their Monday crew, Ryan Clark, Jason Kelsey, Marcus Spears. We got the new NBC crew, headlined by Mike Tomlin, joining up with Devin McCourty and Jason Garrett. Or do we like the Amazon Prime crew? Tony Gonzalez, Richard Sherman, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Whitworth. Which crew are we rolling with for our pregame choice here, Black?
The Prime crew. And you know what's funny about that, Raj, is because, the way that we consume media in 2026 is that when the games are on the streaming services, you don't do the flipping back and forth before the game.
You've kind of committed. Once you tap watch live, you're in. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. You are pot committed. So like if you get there early, you consume the pre and the post game shows because I'll speak for myself. I'm too lazy to log out of Prime into Hulu or Netflix or into YouTube TV to then go back to Prime. So I see a lot of that Prime broadcast, but until Raj mentioned them, I didn't think of them. For me, for my money, my favorite would be the Fox crew. Give me Terry, Howie, Jimmy, Strahan, and even Gronk. I don't need Gronk there, but I like the Fox crew with Kurt Menefee. That's my crew. I'm ready for a Sunday full of action of NFL coverage with the Fox crew. That's what I'm going to select.
You're going to hate my answer. My answer is I like to go to the crew over.
Oh, you're do not answer with something Raj laid out. Don't go.
Why?
Don't go random here. Because I can tell with your buildup. You're gonna do some like off the wall thing that Raj didn't present to us.
Don't tell me what to do with my answer.
Raj, am I wrong with this? Can you tell that Abdalla's going to go wrong?
He is building this up in a way that I'm
answering with what I watch on Sunday mornings. And I watch Rebecca.
I watch the Premier League.
I watch Rebecca Love.
Yeah,
I watch the two Robbies and Tim Howard.
Okay.
I watch Premier League Sundays. Excuse me for being honest with my answer. I don't lie to the audience. You act like you watch these pre-games. You just BS the audience for 3 minutes. Chris Bleck is a liar. Chris Bleck is a liar.
He nailed it.
He is not forthright with the audience. He is a liar, and he just lied to the people. He lied to you, and you should never trust him again. I, Adam Abdalla, am being honest with you, regardless of the question. And I'm being honest with you. I watch soccer on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
And I watch Rebecca and the two Robbies and Tim Howard.
That's true.
So I'm sorry I went off the board, but I respect our listeners. I respect our fans. I respect those of you watching on YouTube, youtube.com/Bleck and Abdalla. I respect you that have downloaded and listened to the podcast. Wherever your podcasts are sold, this one's a free one. We don't charge you like a Patreon or anything weird like that. Thank you for listening and respecting our show, especially me, who's honest with you. Not like Chris, who's a liar.
Not Patreon or
who's a liar.
Abdalla fans, whatever you have there.
He's a liar.
Yeah, yes. I would say, Raj, I tried to honor
that
the
escalated
game.
very quickly.
Yeah, well, I could tell he was up to something. I could just see the gleam in his eye. I could tell that there was something cooking. Okay, I was trying to respect Raj and the game. That's what I was trying to do.
So was I. I was being honest.
But Abdalla's right. If I'm being honest, I'm watching the Premier League until the moment the NFL game starts.
Yeah.
So I am also watching Premier League soccer until noon Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern hits, and then I flip it over to the NFL coverage. You're right. You caught me. You're right.
I don't know if we can end it on much more than that, fellas. That does it for one-on-one.
Thank you, Raj. Appreciate it. That was a great serving of one-on-one today here on a Monday. I could just tell that you were going to do some nonsense and not answer the question.
I am just being honest with our fine fans who all they want from us is honesty. Yeah. They don't want fake. Yeah. They don't want fake. This isn't a take. This isn't a
take factory.
A take factory. We don't do that. We don't lie to the audience.
Serving them up hot and fresh.
We don't sit
here
before the show and say you take the Spurs, I'll take the Knicks side. We don't do that. We don't do that. Say you take this. You say I'm going to say Brock Purdy's overrated. You say this. No, we agree on things. We don't lie to the audience.
It's Bleck and Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save on commercial auto insurance from Progressive. Get a fast quote at progressivecommercial.com. That's right. We don't debate. We just agree on things. That's what we do. Absolutely. That was great. One-on-one. Yeah, it's true. I will, as long as possible, watch soccer until the NFL games come on, and then I'll flip it.
Look, if there's an international break or something, sure. I'll flip around and put on ESPN or something like that.
What was I saying on Friday? I'll just go outside and stand in the sun.
I'll stand and... I don't know.
Warm up.
I don't know. A walk or something.
Could Giannis Antetokounmpo be on the move this offseason? And could he go to one of the coasts We have new intel on Giannis and his situation with the Bucks, and that's coming up next.
Wow, wow, whoa. The Knicks are up 2-0. New York stole 2 games in San Antonio. The next 2 are in the Garden with a chance to sweep. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
NBA Finals Game 3 tonight, 8:30 Eastern, live from New York, Madison Square Garden. The Knicks lead the series 2-0. And as we sit here watching the NBA Finals, Abdalla, there are multiple other storylines in the NBA that will be attention-grabbing throughout the summer. Obviously, where LeBron James ends up will be something that people will talk about. Giannis Antetokounmpo is another name that the owner of the Bucks, Jimmy Haslam, came out and said that he wants a decision made before the NBA draft. Well, the clock's ticking on that one. The NBA draft is like days after the end of the NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. So we're like a couple weeks away here from the NBA draft. So something has to give with the Giannis situation. I don't think Giannis is going to be with the Bucks next season. I don't think Giannis wants to be there. I think Giannis is trying to act like he is not forcing his way out of Milwaukee while trying to save face with the Milwaukee fan base. I don't think that's the case. I don't think he wants to be there anymore. Brian Windhorst on ESPN TV gave a location that we should watch for the Giannis chase.
The team to watch here is Miami. Miami would say, well, we got Tyler Hero, who is a young player who's been an all-star. We got draft picks, including the 13th pick in this draft. We can give you a pretty good lottery pick in this draft. And Giannis, I think, wants to be in Miami. There's more check marks on Miami.
So there you go. Brian Windhorst, ESPN TV. You should watch Miami, which lines up. They are a team, as Wendy points out, that could pull off a trade like this. And we've seen it in the past. Teams on the coasts, and Miami specifically, lure free agents because it's a place players want to live.
Yeah, and I think it's always interesting to see what the Heat can always do. It's always weird that people, it seems like big players' second team is always the Heat. It's like they always want to go party in Miami for their second team. But now that's two Florida teams, because with the Magic, with their head coach hiring, who is a former staff member in Milwaukee, the connection was brought up last week. I believe it was last week.
Yep, it was.
By Ramona Shelburne, saying that...
Watch out for the Magic.
Watch out for the Magic because of that connection between the coach and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, Brian Windhorst saying, watch out for Miami because he thinks that that's where Giannis would want to go. So now we've got two official watch outs.
Watch out.
We've got two official watch outs.
Watch out.
And, I mean, Miami's not surprising. Orlando's a little surprising, but given the coach connection, it's not that surprising, but it's a surprising team, right? I don't know if Tyler Hero in the 13th pick would do it for Giannis. Probably have to throw in a little bit more, but again, Giannis doesn't want to be in Milwaukee. We kind of know that. The Bucks should move on for what's best for them and the player. If you're going to do it, this is the draft to do it in.
It's Bleck Abdalla. You can join the show at 310-840-4910. Ray in Chicago is on with Bleck Abdalla. What's up, Ray?
Monday, gentlemen. Happy Monday,
What's up,
gentlemen.
man?
How you guys doing?
Happy Monday.
Hey.
What's up, Ray? What do you have?
Hey, Adam, I love your enthusiasm when I call. You're the best.
I know, right?
I'll just say, what's up, bro?
Hey, I'm going to stick with NBA, and this hits, hard for us here in Chicago. I know you guys are aware, and I just wanted to take the time in to say thank you to all the wonderful memories of Mr. Stacey King, the Bulls color commentator that passed away yesterday. And for those that don't know nationally, he was on the first 3-peat team. He was a great player in Oklahoma, but when he took over, he's like the Harry Carey for a lot of his, the last 20 years almost of Bulls fans. He was amazing. He was funny. He knew the game. He taught you the game. He made watching bad basketball still fun. And I just want to say, his prayers out to his family, his friends. Chicago lost a treasure, and he was the best. And I just wanted to take the time. Thank you guys for letting me say that. We love you, Stacey. Nationwide is on your side. The pipes. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ray. Have a great day, man. And thanks for bringing that up and getting it on the show. And we agree, Stacey King here in Chicago, for those who don't know, he played for the Bulls in the early 90s, won 3 titles with Jordan and Pippen. So you may remember Stacey King, but then he went into the broadcast booth. And in Chicago, the Chicago Bulls had a legendary broadcaster in that seat, Johnny Red Kerr. He was a team's player, coach. He was around the team forever, and he was someone that, if you remember the Jordan era, you know how LeBron does the chalk thing where he throws a chalk up in the air? Jordan would go over in front of Johnny Red Kerr and clap his hands with chalk in his face as a joke before every game. And so Stacey filled Johnny Red Kerr's spot on the broadcast and hit it out of the park. He was great. And Stacey and Adam Amin, who we're friends with, they had great chemistry. And I think that's one of the things that it's so sad. He's 59 years old, passes away yesterday. And it's just tough for the city of Chicago.
I think Ray said it best, watching bad basketball and making it fun and entertaining, still teaching you the game. If you're not familiar, go watch, just look it up, Derrick Rose dunk on Goran Dragic.
Yeah.
That's all you need to watch. That dunk, it says it all about Stacey King's ability to call a basketball game. And as Chris and I have known him, sporadically and dealt with him, everything you see about him online going around is true. The nicest, kindest man that you could ever, and former player, when a lot of former players don't have to be and broadcasters don't have to be, always had the time for you, always had the time of day to sit down and talk with young broadcasters, young people in the business, anybody, any fan that wanted to stop and say hi or wanted a picture. He was always available for you. So extremely sad and shocking news yesterday that Stacey King passed away.
Yeah, and I think, the connection to Bulls fans is obviously through the broadcasts on TV. But it was also like if you went to the United Center to see a game, he would stick around and talk to people.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where the connection is so deep. But yeah, 59 passed away yesterday. Sad news here in Chicago. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Were we too early to crown Wemby? We'll talk about that next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, hanging out with you until 3 Eastern. And then Jim Rome will take over right here on Westwood One Sports. You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. The scene is set for tonight. Game 3, NBA Finals, Madison Square Garden, New York City, 8:30 Eastern. The Knicks are up 2-0 in the NBA Finals. They take both road games in San Antonio to start the series. And tonight, the scene at MSG will be epic. And I'm guessing that it will be must-see TV for most fans of sports and also casual people, because you don't really see an atmosphere like that often in sports. I think it'll be cool to witness. And I know you and I are not going to the game. We're in Chicago. But, like, to watch it on TV, to have that be the scene for the championship round of your sport, like, this is all Adam Silver could ask for. This is great. And the fact that the Knicks showed up in the first 2 games of the series and they won both games, you know that crowd is going to be extra tonight. And the Knicks have all of the momentum in this series. And the big question is, do the Spurs respond? Every step of the way here in the NBA playoffs, we've seen Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs respond and prevail. Mm-hmm. And this is the real time, the first real time here in the playoffs that they are facing adversity.
Yeah.
And you're in a hole, 0-2 hole, on the road with that atmosphere in the Garden. It should be an all-time game 3 tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, the theater is exactly what the NBA wants and dreams of. You've got the future of your league, or what you hope is the future of your league, in Victor Wembanyama facing this kind of adversity. And what a place to face it in Madison Square Garden, where, you know, the atmosphere around it, the fans are going crazy all throughout the city. You've got all crazy types of promotion throughout the city because the fans have been going nuts since the Eastern Conference Finals after every single win, right? And this team has won 13 games in a row, going for their 14th. The last two teams that have won their first two games on the road to start an NBA Finals have gone on to win the championship. There was the 93 Bulls and the 95 Rockets. Like, everything is lining up for the Knicks to end up winning this championship. They still have to do it. They haven't won anything yet. They're in a great position to do it. They still have to win two more games. They're a 2.5-point favorite tonight at home. And Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs have to find a way to respond. Will they do it? It looked like they somewhat were going to find a way to respond. They overcame a 14-point deficit in game 2. They had a shot lined up for Victor Wembanyama, and it didn't fall for a game winner.
Yeah.
After a horrible mistake that he made, sending a pass off the back. And I mean, how do you come back from that? I mean, mentally, you just come back from that. And it looks like what we talked about a little bit ago. It just seems like this team never came down from the high of winning the Western Conference Finals. Like, they have just never, like, this moment has just been too big for them. And they seem like this winning the Western Conference Finals was like, okay, we've won. You haven't yet, though. And it seems like they thought they won after that. Just being there was winning. And the Knicks know, and Jalen Brunson's knows that winning the finals is actually winning.
Yeah, and I think that goes with who your star is. The Knicks take their lead from their star. Jalen Brunson is the definition of even-keeled. That guy is never upset. He's never over the top celebrating. He is just steady as she goes. Mm-hmm. And it's impressive to see. And Wemby releasing the emotions on the court after beating the Thunder, looking in hindsight, looking back on it, in the moment, I remember watching that and thinking to myself, it's a little weird. Like, I don't recall seeing players cry making the finals. Now, you win the NBA Finals. Yeah, everyone can picture Michael Jordan on the floor on Father's Day holding the basketball after that 5th championship after his father passed away. Like, everyone can picture what that looks like in the locker room, breaking down after winning a title. Like, you can get it. Mm-hmm. But when you say, hey, you got to the finals, and then it's like you're holding back those emotions, like, I understand it was a lot to overcome. But, sir, the job is not finished. Now, the Spurs are not done. The Spurs could easily show up. They've played well in both games. They didn't get blown out in either game.
No.
So they could show up in game 3, in game 4, outplay the Knicks, make this a series. I wouldn't be shocked if that were the case. Mm-mm. But, I mean, it does feel right now that the inevitable is the fact that the Knicks will win the championship and that this is going to be a celebration of a team that has gone on a heater unlike that we've seen almost ever in NBA history. And it's what is unique about it is not to discredit the New York Knicks and what they've accomplished. It's just nobody saw this coming 4 weeks ago. You didn't. And if you did, you're lying. It's not true. You did not. No one saw the Knicks rattling off, 14 straight wins now here in to get to the finals?
Yeah.
And the wins and the margin of victory in many of these wins being what they were, no one saw that. Now we did have conversations heading into the playoffs. Who's the best team in the East? Some people said the Celtics. Some people said, maybe Detroit, even though that they might be a year early, but they had a great regular season. A lot of people said the Knicks. That if the Knicks are healthy, they could get to the finals. No one saw this coming, though. And so you have to tip your cap. It's pretty damn cool to watch. I can't recall a team like this in the NBA that went from the point that they were at the regular season to being at this point, this apex, where they're only 2 games away, and they have just slaughtered the competition to get to this point. Usually we see that from like the all-time great teams, the dynasty teams, the teams that we expect to do this, the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, the Chicago Bulls with Jordan and Pippen, Steph and Clay and Draymond with the Golden State Warriors, And when they added in Durant, you expect that stuff from those teams.
Well, look.
You don't expect it from Jalen Brunson, Bridges, OG, Cat, like Josh Hart. That's not, it's not to take credit anything away from what they've accomplished. It's just that's what it was heading into the playoffs.
I mean, is this a team that we talk about it in the NFL, right? We talked about the Patriots' run to the Super Bowl. And obviously this is a series, so it's different. NFL's one game. But the Patriots had a very, we called it charmed, run to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, last year?
Extremely fortunate run.
They had Lucky Charms and horseshoes stuck places. They were rocking and rolling, man.
Bo Nix breaks his ankle. They had an extremely charmed run to the Super Bowl.
You don't have to say that loud. Raj knows.
Yeah.
Raj knows that if Bo Nix would have played in that game,
Yes,
the
he
Broncos
does.
were in the Super Bowl. Right, Raj?
Yes, he does.
See?
Yes, he does.
See?
You sweep the 76ers, Embiid's playing, he's hurt, he's all this. The Cavaliers, after you mount that comeback, they basically quit in that series. We know that James Harden doesn't play well in the playoffs. He never really played well in that game. You were beating them by almost 40 points in a game. You did. You beat them in that game 4 win 130-93. Like that, they didn't even show up for that game. In game 3 at home, you beat them 121-108. That's how they showed up at home after losing the first 2 games on the road. So I'm not saying that it's charmed or it's been easy. It's been easier than the Spurs run. And the East has been easier than the West to get there. It doesn't mean that they're not an all-time great team and winning all these games is tough and the margin of victory is tough. However, they have had a much easier go to get to this position. And we talked about how, look, when you're sweeping these teams, you get more rest. You get a chance for your guys. Everything starts to heal up a little bit. Those bumps and bruises heal up. Whereas the Spurs and the Thunder went through an extremely physical series for 7 straight games while you are sitting at home for 8 days just practicing.
Yeah.
Just going through the motions, just waiting for them. And that adds up. It's a piece of the puzzle that goes into this. It's not the only reason that the Knicks are winning the series, are up 2-0 and took 2 games on the road, but it's a part of it. It's got to be a part of it because of the way that they've been taking care of their business. That's the other part of it. They're sweeping teams, so they get the luxury of being able to sit at home for a week while the Spurs and the Thunder had to deal with each other for 7 straight games and beat the crap out of each other for 7 straight games.
Were we all as a sports community, sports watching community, did we all crown Wemby too early? And what I mean is were we too quick to say that this guy's the next great? He hasn't won anything yet. He got to the finals, and it is so early. I'm also unwilling to commit to the idea that this is just it for the Spurs in this series. I get it. The Knicks are up 2-0. They could win the finals. They have a great head start at that. 2 more games is all they have to do out of the next 5. They could certainly do that. But did we all move too quickly on the Wemby is the best player in the league? Wemby is the face of the league. Wemby is this. Wemby is that. No. Because you're right. In game 2, it was his mistake that cost him. If he doesn't throw the ball off Stephon Castle's back, he has the ball with 12 seconds left, collects the defensive rebound, brings it into the front court, shimmy, shake, whatever, step back 3. He gets a shot. They win. Series tied 1-1. We're having a different conversation today. Instead, he had an epic turnover in a big spot where he could have controlled the destiny of the team. Yeah. I think that's the thing that's so frustrating when you look at it is all he had to do is hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
And get a shot off at the end. Hold it for those final 12 seconds and get that shot off. It's all he had to do.
I don't think we have. I think that he's still on that track. But again, everybody points to this is the track. The track is you have to lose first, right? You have to lose. And everybody thought, us included, that, well, they're probably going to lose to the Thunder. And that's the you have to lose first. Well, you got to Game 7, and anything can happen in Game 7. And guess what? They've handled the Thunder pretty easily in Game 7. And then they got to the finals, and everybody kind of thought, okay, well, probably Spurs in 6, Spurs in 5, maybe Spurs in 7. But the Spurs are going to win the series. The Spurs were an overwhelming favorite to win the series, and Wembanyama was going to get his first championship in his 3rd year here. But it takes all of these, every great. Look at Jordan, how long it took him. Look at LeBron, how long it took him. It takes these guys time. We want instant gratification from these stars. It's going to take time. Wembanyama is not a failure or not. He doesn't mean he's not the next guy just because he doesn't win the finals this year. It's his 3rd year in the league. He's 22 years old. Like, what are we doing here?
That doesn't work in today's hot take culture.
Like, what are we doing?
A measured take from Abdalla. That doesn't work. That doesn't get clicks, bro.
Sorry.
You can text the show at 310-840-4910. Texter from the 324, which is, I believe, the Jacksonville area. He says he expects Wemby to regain his alien mode starting tonight in Game 3 and 4 to even up the series, and they will go back to San Antonio 2 games apiece.
Oof.
All right. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
Your phone to Adam Silver's ears.
From the 248, that's in the Chicagoland area.
Shut out.
Wemby is 7'5", and you guys want a finesse player. He's a finesse player first. He's not going to be the GOAT doing that. Yeah, it's a fair point. I mean, Wemby needs to get closer to the basket. The key to defending Wembanyama is make him shoot from the outside. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that anywhere
for 2 weeks.
No, I haven't heard that on any program.
No,
no program. I have not heard that Wembanyama needs to get in the paint. Abdalla's about to lose his mind, Raj.
I've been saying this for a month.
He's about to lose his mind.
His head is going to explode.
Insane. I've been saying this for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks, get your ass in the paint and get to the basket. And now all of a sudden, everybody else gets to say this? No.
Yes.
I've been saying this. I'm the one that's been saying this.
Well, go after our texter from the 248.
I'm not going after our texter. I saw the light.
You're not allowed to say it. Only I'm allowed to say it.
No. You can say it. Everybody else can say it. I was just saying that I've been saying this for weeks. That he can't stop shooting threes. What are you doing?
You want the proper credit.
I'm not saying I need the credit. I'm just saying that I noticed it weeks ago that he stopped shooting. Go inside. What are you doing?
Just wants to be the trendsetter.
Yes.
See, there you go, Roy. I mean, Abdalla just wants all the credit.
You're 7.5 feet tall. Get to the basket. I almost swore. Get to the basket.
Jeez, dude.
I could tell, guys. I could tell he was amping up.
Get to the basket.
What a Monday. We had Abdalla going at Bleck earlier, calling him every name in the book, a liar, etc. Now his head's ready to explode.
I just don't like dishonesty, Raj. I just don't like dishonesty. I'm just saying.
Yes, you don't like dishonesty.
I just don't like it when people are lying to the fine audience.
Text from the 949, I think that's the Los Angeles area. Here's the text. All pressure's on the Knicks tonight to win. If they lose, look out. They will be rattled, and the Spurs will have all of the momentum. I don't disagree with that. With all of the conversation off the court heading into this game, yes, the crowd could certainly propel the Knicks into winning tonight. And if they get off to a good start, quick start, that crowd's going to be up for grabs. And if it holds through, I get it. And even if the Spurs are up big late and they start to make a run and they chip away, that crowd's going to be insane.
Mm-hmm.
But the Spurs show up, and like the way these Spurs series have kind of gone is the Spurs in games where we're worried that they're going to not bounce back or something, and it's going to be a close game. The Spurs have won these games of like 15, 20 points.
Yeah, we said that about game 2, and then they lost.
No, I know we said that about game 2 in this series. I'm saying in the previous series with the
mm-hmm.
Spurs, like up until this round and the end of the Thunder round, most of their wins were like 12 to 15 point wins.
Okay.
In those games.
I agree with you.
I'm just saying, like, it is, you are opening yourself up to, like, the Charlie Brown trying to kick the football and the football being pulled.
I know. I can't.
With everything that's going on around the game tonight.
I can't make a prediction either way.
MSG.
I could see either thing happen. I could see the Knicks winning by 10. I could see the Spurs winning by 15. I have no idea what's going to happen in tonight's game because I've seen both things happen.
The 248 responds to Abdalla yelling at him for being the one saying that Wemby should be more
I'm not
physical.
yelling at him. I'm agreeing with him.
I agree. Says, I give you, as in Abdalla, credit everywhere I go. Like George handing off the big salad. That's a Seinfeld reference.
That's my guy.
The big salad. Who paid for the big salad?
248, my guy.
Who took the credit for the big salad?
Who took the credit for the big salad?
More next with Costos.
Oh, okay.
He'll break it down tomorrow. I mean, is there nothing more Nick Costos than the Knicks having their night tonight and then Seinfeld references?
Is he breaking into the game tonight?
What do you mean breaking? Oh, to get in?
To get in, yeah.
Is he going? I hope he's going.
I hope he's going too.
For the love of God, let's get Costos into the game.
He's got to go. Is he sitting under the Chalamet chair like Raj said?
I know. He needs a real seat. Courtside.
You think he'll be
Westwood One Sports, courtside. No, courtside.
Not up in the box with
No, he'll be with your guy.
Chalamet?
No, Ben Stiller.
Action Bronson?
Ben Stiller.
Okay.
Don't give me that look. I didn't mean him.
That's why I sit up in the box.
I think we should do that. As a company, Westwood One Sports, we should get Costos to these games.
Well, I mean, the prices are going down.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure somewhere
by
Armin
tip-off,
is
they'll be
thrilled
giving
with
them
us
away.
pitching this.
Yeah. Selling fast.
What are the prices now?
Hold on. Let me refresh. Refresh.
Raj is just laughing. He's
just
like,
laughing.
Come on.
$4,000.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, sure. We've got
That's
that.
it. That's nothing.
Let's send Costos.
Man,
Let's do it.
game four right now, get in is $10,000.
We could do that. Why
Maybe
not?
Shane Gillis will be there again. Shane Gillis Alexander.
Yes.
You could sit by him.
Yes.
Gillis Alexander.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. I can't wait for Game 3 tonight. It should be fantastic. The NCAA suspended Brendan Sorsby. A judge in Lubbock, Texas, has granted an injunction on the suspension. And so he is eligible at the moment to play for Texas Tech this upcoming season. I don't think that's going to happen, and we'll tell you why coming up next. The final round of the basketball season is here, and the DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states.
Sweat every possession of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers can sign up with code B&A26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code B&A26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Wow, wow, whoa. The Knicks are up 2-0. New York stole 2 games in San Antonio. The next 2 are in the Garden with a chance to sweep. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Today in college football, Brendan Sorsby was granted an injunction on the NCAA's suspension of his eligibility for this upcoming season. So Texas Tech's appealed to the NCAA to have quarterback Brendan Sorsby eligibility reinstated. Is a judge in Lubbock, Texas, has granted the injunction. So he will be eligible for the 2026 season upcoming here in college football. Obviously, Texas Tech expected to be a very good team this upcoming season. Having their quarterback changes what they can accomplish in this upcoming season. He is expected to be suspended for the first 2 games of the year. Now, with Sorsby, like, how good is Sorsby? I've seen in multiple big boards for next year's NFL draft, Sorsby is a top 10 quarterback prospect for next year's NFL draft. Now, a lot can change, right? Like, as we go into the season and the actual play on the field determines a lot how this stuff shakes out. But heading into this offseason, he's a top 10 guy in college football, expected to be in the NFL draft for next year's draft. So this is a big deal. And, you know, from what it looks like is as long as you have enough money and you find a judge close enough to your campus who will grant the injunction, you can kind of accomplish anything. And the rules that are being stated by the NCAA doesn't really mean squat if you can accomplish those 2 things. As Sorsby at the moment is eligible, I'm guessing the NCAA will appeal this. And I'm guessing the end result of all this is that Brandon Sorsby will not play college football this upcoming season.
He might not, but a lot of college football analysts are saying their wording in their tweets today are saying is expected to play this season. So, like, as of today, as of June 8th, he's playing.
As of today, he is. But the NCAA can appeal the ruling by the judge in Lubbock, Texas, and they can still come over the top and say he's suspended for gambling on college football and gambling on his own team, which he admitted to. He admitted to this. He went to rehab for gambling addiction, and he spent $90,000 in gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands and thousands of bets, including bets on his own team.
Yeah.
He placed, here's what the NCAA recovered when they looked into it. So $90,000 on professional and college sports over 4 years, including 40 bets involving Indiana football when he was a freshman on the Hoosiers team in 2022. So he bet on his own team when he was at Indiana, thousands of other bets, professional, college. You know, he went to rehab for it, so he's hopefully working through that and the demons that comes along with that on his own for a personal side of things. But I'm guessing the NCAA at some point will win in this ruling, and they will appeal, and he will not play college football this upcoming year.
This comes down to a couple things. I think it comes down to the fact that if he enters the supplemental draft this year, he's not going to get first-round money. And if he enters the draft next year, after playing college football this year, and like you said, Texas Tech is supposed to be very good if he plays for them, that he'll be a first-round pick. He's like a top 10. He's a top 10 prospect in the draft, not top 10 quarterback, just a top 10 prospect. And so if he is a top 10 prospect and he goes in the top 10, that's a significant payday. And so I think this is him wanting to get back at that. Now, just because he doesn't play doesn't mean he has to enter the supplemental draft. We've seen players we saw players it was obviously different circumstances, but we saw players opt out of the COVID season and still enter the draft, and they were taken. Like, he could just not play and still enter the NFL draft.
Jamar Chase, Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Both of those players didn't play their final year of college football, and then they entered the draft the following year, and they're you could argue that both players are 2 of the 10 to 15 best players in the NFL.
Exactly. So that could be an option for him.
Sorsby isn't that good, though.
No.
He's not that caliber of a quarterback.
No, but I think he believes that if he plays well enough, he could go from a top 10 prospect to maybe a top 5 prospect, depending on how the season goes. And look, the rules are the rules. You can't get, there are very few rules when it comes to being a professional athlete that you have to follow. One of them is that you cannot gamble on sports anymore. Simple as that. The sacrifice of making millions of dollars and having your family set for life, for generations, what could be generations, is that you cannot gamble on sports. And you cannot take performance-enhancing drugs to play those sports. Those are like the two. In order to be employed by a college and get money to play for that school, and then to enter the NFL and to be employed by the NFL. Those are like the two rules. That's it. That's all you got to follow. And if you don't, sorry, you can't play anymore. Those are the rules. They're not hard to follow. You can't set the precedent that just because you went to a judge that's in the same town that the college is in, that you get to play again. That's a bad precedent.
But what about having a billionaire booster for the university?
No.
If you got the money, you can get away with stuff.
No.
That's what the moral of this story is.
No.
Because you're right. The rule is the rule unless you've got a big-time billionaire booster who can go and find a judge in Lubbock to grant the injunction.
No.
And so then the rules don't matter.
No.
Like the NCAA cannot be happy. And I saw, you mentioned like college football people saying like they think he'll play. But then again, you have people within college football who are furious.
Of course they are.
I think I saw a quote from Jim Phillips, the ACC's commissioner, talking about like what's the point of having the rules if this is what can take place.
They
is
should
that
be
you could
furious.
Just skirt the rule if you find the right judge in the right district in the right place of the country. Let's see. Jim Phillips to ESPN's Pete Thamel. Quote, a horrendous pattern. Let's see. The ruling, another example of why we remain diligently focused on working with Congress to ensure rules are able to be consistently and fairly appealed. And kind of pointing to the fact that at the moment, there's no watchdog when it comes to gambling and college athletics and just the place that college football and college basketball are sitting in with NIL money coming into the pockets of these kids. And then there's no watchdog to like overlook and to follow through with the rules that are set in place. If all you have to do is just find the right judge to grant an injunction, then boom, you can play. And you mentioned, Texas Tech should be in the conversation for a national title next year. So I found on ESPN.com, this is from April, so it's 2 months ago. But this is the way too early top 25 spring update.
Okay.
So here's the way too early. I'm not going to give you all 25. No. Here's the top 10. Ohio State's number 1, college football. Number 2, Oregon. Number 3, Georgia. Number 4, Notre Dame. Number 5, Texas. Number 6, Indiana. 7, Miami. 8, Texas Tech.
Okay.
So the Red Raiders are going to enter this upcoming season as a top 10 team. Number 9, Ole Miss. Number 10, Texas A&M. So, the Red Raiders, if they have Sorsby, they will be a top 10 team entering this upcoming season.
Yeah, and I think that he thinks that can boost his stock going into the NFL draft. Like if he gets into the playoff, and let's say he's got a chance at a Heisman, and he's a Heisman finalist, even if he doesn't win it, if he's a Heisman finalist, if they get into the playoff and they play well into the playoff, let's say they get to the Final Four, he's going to be a top 5 prospect. There's teams that need quarterbacks. There's a few teams that need quarterbacks. He's going to be a top 5 prospect.
No doubt. There's no doubt.
And the amount of money that you're going to get differing between being a top 5 pick or a top 10 pick or a top 15 pick, it's a huge gap. And right now, the supplemental draft money, that ain't it.
It's Bleck Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Here on the Bleck Abdalla Show, we only bring to you the hardest hitting news possible. It's what we do. We scour the internet, we watch TV, we talk to the people on the streets, and we try and bring you the hardest hitting news. I saw this story over the weekend that I would like to bring to the show. If we go to CBS 2 in Chicago, this is a hard hitting news story. Take a listen.
The squirrels attacked all 3 of Myron Sonkin's BMWs right here in this parking lot. It's far from a forest. It's actually a pretty busy business district, but something about the cars couldn't keep the ravenous rodents away.
I hate to say it, but it's buyer beware. Where are they?
Myron Sonkin was nuts about his brand new BMW 430i when he bought it late last year. It had just 1,700 miles on it when he parked it in his business's Carroll Stream parking lot in March. But when he went to drive it home that day, he had a flashing warning light
That said, do not drive, call for roadside assistance.
The BMW dealership said that from the claw marks,
shoot on the hood release cable,
chew marks, and even the makings of a cozy den,
insulation here, they've pulled away.
The evidence pointed to a squirrel with a hearty appetite.
That was CBS News 2 in Chicago. What the hell are we doing? There's nothing else going on with local news that we have a squirrel update on some dude who has a BMW.
Well, they're taking over. No, they're taking over.
The squirrels.
First, it was the forests.
Yes.
Then it was our backyards.
The squirrel with a hearty appetite.
Yes, the squirrel with the hearty appetite.
Then
chewing on the Beamer.
Then it was our office parks and our residential areas.
Ravenous rodents.
Now it's our cars.
Yeah,
What's next, Chris?
Now they're coming for the cars.
What's next?
Chew marks and even the makings of a cozy den.
Okay, well, I have a couple of questions here. One, think about the individual with the cars. So in the story, he had one car damaged by the squirrels.
Mm-hmm.
He takes it in and he gets a loaner vehicle.
Yeah.
The loaner vehicle damaged by the squirrels. So then he takes that one back. He brings a third one to the spot, to the same parking spot. And squirrels get the third car.
Yeah.
So he has damage on 3.
Where is he supposed to park?
BMW cars.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but you thought that was worthy of contacting the news?
I guess.
This guy, the squirrel guy, was like, let me call up the local news. And then they hook, line, and sinker bit on the story?
Of course they did.
This is what we're airing in this city?
Yeah.
Of news?
Yes.
CBS 2 in Chicago?
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's either that or the Bears are moving to Indiana.
A squirrel with a hearty appetite. Chew marks.
Bit on it like the squirrel bit on those cables.
I mean,
it
ravenous rodents.
It was
Raj, when I saw this story over the weekend, I was like, what the hell? No wonder people aren't watching the news.
They're going
You're still
nuts.
watching, though. You watched this live, didn't you? You saw this live.
I saw this online. I saw it online.
I don't believe you. I think you were watching it live.
No shade, but I'm not a CBS 2 guy. I'm not watching CBS 2. I support my brother-in-law at NBC5. That's right.
out.
NBC5.
Shout out.
Hard-hitting
Chris
news.
Bleck is keeping live local evening news alive in Chicago.
I mean, what? I don't understand any of it. Okay, so he's just upset some squirrels chewed through some cables in the car.
Yeah.
Move on with your day, sir.
I mean,
why are you contacting the news?
Because he probably contacted someone else and couldn't get any help, and he's like, "So I'm going to call the news."
Rodents.
It could be a matter of community awareness. Like, you guys need to be careful now. You should be checking the hoods of your cars to make sure that squirrels aren't chewing on them.
I'm gonna call. Let's beep bop boop boop bap.
I'm calling the news.
Hello, news.
News.
There's squirrels on my car.
Here's news you can use.
Wait,
chew marks and
I
even
think
the
the bigger
makings of
problem
a
is
cozy
the
den.
news actually taking it. Like,
I
don't see
Roy,
an issue
am I
with
right?
him calling,
Like
but
the whole
them
thing.
taking it is
They gave
a
it.
whole
They
different
sent a reporter out there.
The reporter's on the scene.
They edited a story.
The whole deal.
They did everything.
This is the news
All right,
people want to
so-
know.
I mean, I guess so. That's why I wanted to bring it to the show.
Yeah.
Hard-hitting news.
Hard-hitting.
Here in the city of Chicago. Abdalla's right. If it's not the ravenous rodents,
Ravenous rodents.
or with the hearty appetites, yes,
The
it's
squirrel with a hearty appetite.
right, or the chew marks,
Chew
right?
marks and even
Yeah.
the makings of a cozy den.
Yeah, the cozy den in the hood of the Beamer. We would then be talked to death about the Bears moving to Indiana when they're not actually at the moment moving to Indiana.
I'd rather have squirrel news than that.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood
She
One
wrote
Sports.
the heck out of that VO, though. Come
No,
on
I
now.
know, man.
When she was writing that VO, come on now.
I know. That's why I thought we had to play it, because the way that she, Every aspect of
chew
it.
marks, and even the makings of a cozy den. A squirrel with a hearty appetite. Ravenous rodents.
The whole thing. It was great.
She crushed it, man. She crushed it.
CBS 2 in Chicago, yes. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Who in the NFL is most likely to go from worst to first in this upcoming season? We'll talk about that coming up next.
Wow, wow, whoa. The Knicks are up 2-0. New York stole 2 games in San Antonio. The next 2 are in the Garden with a chance to sweep. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Check out the podcast of Bleck and Abdalla in case you missed anything today on the show, Apple and Spotify. And also make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show. Thank you to Raj and Roy for producing today. Up next here on Westwood One Sports in 12 minutes, Jim Rome will take over on Westwood One Sports. We'll be back tomorrow from noon to 3 Eastern right here on Westwood One Sports. We know how it works in the NFL. Each and every season, a team goes from worst to first. In fact, and the article is on ESPN.com, Aaron Schatz, friend of the program, writes about teams and who are the teams that are most likely to go from last season in the NFL to first in this upcoming season. And he points out that since the NFL realigned to 8 four-team divisions in 2002, there have been more than 24 teams in their standings of the division who have gone from worst to first. Now, when you ask the question, which team is most likely to go worst to first in this upcoming season, the number one team to look at would be Detroit.
Yeah.
Like, Detroit makes the most sense, right? Because they're a very good team. You and I both think they bounce back in this upcoming season. Most of their star players are still intact. It is the group in their, quote, championship window. I think the more interesting conversation, who's the team behind them that could make a run and go worst to first? Because those are usually the teams that are surprising. If the Lions did it, it would not be that surprising. Most people think that they're a very good team. So the team on the list at number 2, I think, is surprising. And Aaron Schatz writes, it's the New Orleans Saints. That the Saints last year at 6-11 have the odds of winning their division at 19%, third in their division, and they have a 23.8% chance of making the playoffs in this upcoming season. So it's the Saints at 2 and the New York Giants at 3. And the Giants were 4-13 last year. Odds of winning their division at 11.6, third in the division. And then their odds to make the playoffs at 22. So Lions, Saints, Giants, worst to first in this upcoming season.
I could see the Saints. You know, you look at their division last year with Carolina, Tampa, Atlanta, all those teams 8-9. So we don't really know what's going to go on. If I had to pick a team out of that division right now, it's going to be Tampa, obviously, because of Baker Mayfield and the rest of that team. Carolina added a lot on defense. Atlanta, we don't know who's going to be quarterback in that on that team right now. It's probably going to be Tua if I had to guess right now. But with the Saints, Tyler Shuck played really well towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
For the Giants, the problem is I think the Cowboys are going to be really good. I think the Cowboys can win that division. I think the Eagles can be decent. I think Washington, if Jaden Daniels stays healthy for an entire season, they went to the NFC Championship game in his rookie year, so they can be really good. So I think the Giants can be better. I just don't know if they're going to go worst to first. So the best candidate, like you said, it's the Lions, obviously. But after that, the Saints seem like the easiest candidate because they were only 2 wins behind everybody else in that division because everyone else was 8-9.
Yes. And I also think because Aaron Schatz is using analytics, and Aaron Schatz is the godfather of DVOA. So he's the one that created it. He used to be on Football Outsiders, and he has all the different metrics. And his metrics are going, and what DVOA will look at is they kind of take out the variables that are hard to predict, right? Turnover margin, new coaches, usually you get a little bump because teams do perform better when a new coach comes in, which makes sense because the last coach, the reason they are no longer there, most of the time it's because they're not successful. Occasionally you get a coach that leaves after winning it all or retires after a long time, or like Mike Tomlin. You could argue that the Steelers were successful last season. You made the playoffs. Somewhat successful. He leaves. Is it a guarantee that McCarthy is going to take them to the next step this upcoming year? I think it's different than a team that's like bottom of the rankings in the standings, getting a new coach, and then now you're back to like even. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a greater jump for some of those teams, so it makes a little more sense. A team that I did not mention, fourth on the list, Tennessee. Tennessee last year was 3-14. Robert Sala's the new head coach. Cam Ward in year 2. I could see, besides the Lions on this list, a team that makes a massive leap forward. I could see it being Tennessee.
I like Tennessee. I've talked about them in the past being a team that I like that could potentially go from worst to first just because of all of the variance going on in their division and bringing in a new head coaching staff. Like we talked about, getting that new coach bump. You've got a defensive-minded head coach. If you rework that defense, that's always the easiest thing to fix right away is your defense. If you have a defense that can support a staff and support a young QB, that's the best way to do it. I don't think the Colts are going to be as good as they were to start. Texans, we don't know what's going on with their quarterback. And Jacksonville, who knows what's going to happen with them.
All right, tonight, Game 3 in the NBA Finals. Thank you, Jackson Dart. What do you think happens tonight? Game 3, the Knicks lead the series 2-0. Can the Spurs bounce back?
I'm not going to go against the trend anymore. I've been going against it for too long. I think the Knicks win. I just can't go against it. Until I'm wrong, I'm going to keep going with the trend. Or until they prove me wrong, I'm going to go with the trend.
Like Game 2, I've got another close one, but this time Wemby prevails.
Okay.
So the series will be 2-1 heading to Game 4. Bleck Abdalla, we have Jim Rome on Westwood One next.
This is Westwood One Sports.